Hey everyone, welcome back to Ford Mustang Garage. Today we're going to be pulling the third member out of this 8-inch Ford rear differential on this 67 coupe. I'm going to show you the process on how I do that. Along the way I'll try to show you as much as I can with gaskets and tricks and tools and things like that I use. If you see anything that maybe that you use that I don't use, or tips that you know about that I don't know about, don't be afraid to make a comment. I don't know everything there is to know about cars or even Mustangs, even though I work on a lot of Mustangs. So I don't know everything. If you see something that could be helpful to other people that would be watching the video, don't be afraid to make a comment. So anyways, to start this job off, I'm going to start by pulling the rear wheels. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to be doing is pulling the axles out. The axles have to come out before you pull the third member out. So your axle has a nice little access hole right here, and there are 4 9/16 flange nuts that we're going to pull out first. Now you don't have to take any of your brake shoes off or anything like that in order to do this. So you can see right through here, sometimes it's hard on the video, but there's a nut right there. We're going to do that 4 times. Okay, so now that all of our axle nuts are off, we need to pull it. So we have some tools. You can rent these from AutoZone. This is the axle puller adapter, part number 27032. You're going to put on the flange here. Just like that. Secure it with lug nuts. This is something that doesn't have to be like on there super tight, it just kind of has to be secure. Next is our slide hammer. You can also rent the slide hammer from AutoZone. This is an OEM tool 27026. Here's the slide hammer. The end of this will thread on to the end of this. Just like that. Brake shoes all stay on. Okay, and there's one axle. Now you can get a good feel for your wheel bearing here. Make sure your wheel bearing is good. This one feels pretty good. So I think we're going to keep that one. You also have good access to your seal. This is your axle seal, which I almost always replace because they're just cheap enough and you're right there. So we'll put a new seal in there. There's also flange gaskets, paper gaskets that go on each side of this backing plate. You can get new ones of those. And I also have videos for those, so you can I'll make a card for you right here. You can click on that if you want to watch the video on the axle seal replacement on that. So you're going to do this, you're going to pull out both sides. I'll only demonstrate one side on the video to minimize the video length, and then we can move on to removing the drive line as well as the third member. Okay, so I'm trying to get like the best possible angle on this third member here. So trying to get you to see the best that you can see. So first things first, we're gonna take the drive line out, and you just have these 4 nuts that are just right here for your universal joint. So you have these little U-bolts. It's nice to keep the transmission in neutral so you can just kind of turn it nice and easily. So we're going to take those out, and then we're going to slide the drive shaft forward, down, and out. You might lose a little bit of fluid out of your tail shaft of your transmission, so put a bucket there. So we'll pull the drive line out, and then essentially from here, like it's all of these bolts. I believe we have 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, there's 10 bolts on an 8. I think the 9 also has 10, but regardless, all those come out, and then the axles are both out, drive line's out, so this pumpkin, or third member if you will just kind of come right out. It probably won't come easily. This is where the impacts come in handy. It's a 1/2 inch on these little U-bolts. Okay, so all these nuts on here, these are all 9/16. Keep note of your ID tag, make sure that goes back on. Okay, so from here, all your nuts are off. There's a bunch of little washers on those studs as well. You're going to see the fluid start to kind of ooze and drip out of there. But essentially from here, you just got to be very careful with pulling this pumpkin out because it's quite heavy and very awkward. Somehow I actually lost the footage for me actually pulling this out, but essentially you can kind of like work it off with a flathead screwdriver. If you work on the ground, just kind of get a floor jack underneath it, or at least someone else helping you, because it is quite heavy when it's above your head, which makes it very awkward. So anyways, we'll go to the next clip here when it shows the third member is actually removed. Okay, there's your third member out. That's your ring and pinion differential assembly. A bit of caution when that thing finally comes out. Like it's kind of heavy, and it's over your head, and it's kind of hard to handle. So it might be a word of advice to kind of let that fluid drain out if you're kind of doing this on your back or something. If you don't have a fancy lift like how I do, I'm standing underneath this car, so like it's a lot easier for me. But if you're just doing this in your driveway, like it can be very hard, very awkward. You may want to have an assistant with you. So it's heavy. I mean, the 9-inch differential is the same procedure, same kind of design. It's just bigger and heavier. So just a kind of word of advice on that. But anyways, that's how you pull it out. So what we're going to do next is just kind of clean everything. We're going to get all that fluid out of there. It looks like pretty good fluid, but we're going to get it all out. Clean this up and get a new gasket on there. All right, everyone, we're back underneath the rear end of this 67 coupe, 8-inch rear end. Got the differential out. So we have cleaned up the axle housing as well as the third member housing, and now we're going to prep our gasket for reinstall. So the gasket I'm using today is the Fel-Pro RDS 13270. So These you can get your local auto parts stores. So it's a 10 bolt, 8-inch Ford rear end. We're going to use Permatex Ultra Black RTV sealant. I also like to use the Right Stuff. Very good as well. It's also made by Permatex, so can't really go wrong with that. But anyway, okay. So to demonstrate what I do for these, get a nice little bead silicone around both sides of this. Okay, then we're going to use our fingers. This is why I like to use gloves. We're going to kind of smear this around and coat it nice and even around the entire gasket. So then we have like a thin coat of silicone around the entire gasket. The gasket is meant to seal, the silicone is meant to fill any imperfections in the metal or the gasket. So we don't use a whole lot of silicone. I see a lot of people just goop the crap out of these things, and then when you install them, it just oozes silicone out the sides, and yeah, it may be sealed up, but gosh, it looks terrible. So I don't goop the crap out of them. I just do a nice thin even layer. I spread it all around with my fingers until my blue gasket turns into a black gasket. Okay, so to get a better view here, we now have the gasket actually around the housing. The housing has all the studs in it. So we put the gasket on there, and then we put in the third member in. So this is a great service to get new differential fluid in there as well. Some of these 8-inch differentials, they don't have a drain plug, and some of them don't have a large check plug in the back. Some do, that I've seen, and you can kind of get a decent sized hose in there to kind of suck out the fluid if you ever just need to do a fluid change, but this makes it a little more challenging. So anyways, now we're going to drop that third member in there. So what I'm doing is I'm tightening these. I'm going, directly opposite from top to bottom, and then on the bottom I'm rotating this way, and on the top I'm rotating this way. So that way it kind of just seats it on nice and evenly. So. Okay, so now I'm going to be going around and torquing this. The torque wrench specification on this is 25 to 40. I think I'm going to do 35. Let's see how it feels though. You never know with these old studs and old nuts, they're going to give out on you, so I always try to feel for it. 35 might be too much. I might have to go 30. Sometimes you gotta go around the whole thing first too. Get the rest of the deal torqued on. And we'll go around first at 20. And there's 20. Okay, now I've gone around to 20. Let's see if we can get to 30.